Right, today we're going to make some seed bombs, and the idea behind seed bombs originally came from Masanobu Fukuoka, who developed a system of natural farming involving no tillage of the soil, no use of pesticides or herbicides, and an incredible usage of water resources. Masanobu originally called his seed bombs earth dumplings. They were taken up by the guerrilla gardeners of New York in the 1970s, and they were used to green areas of New York that were quite run down in some of the inner city projects. If you fast forward to the 2000s, permaculturists, guerrilla gardeners, eco-activists, there's a whole host of people now using seed bombs again. So I'll take you through the process of just how you make them and what exactly you need to make them. So you need some red clay powder. It's better that it is red because it contains a small amount of nutrients, and the seed bombs easily break up with red clay as opposed to grey clay. You also use organic compost, which you can make your own compost from your compost bin. And then your seeds, we've got a mixture of wildflower seeds here, and we've got some sunflower seeds. And then here's the actual bowl that we're going to mix the clay and the compost and seeds in. And we've got the mallet for breaking down the clay. Right, so let's actually get down to making the seed bombs. So you need 5 parts of dry clay powder, 1 part of organic compost, and 1 part of mixed seeds. So with the clay particularly, there's a bit of a tip here involving the clay. If you buy dry clay powder, it's very, very expensive. But if you buy modelling clay and dry the clay out as I've done here, it's a 1/5 of the price. It's a little bit more labour intensive because you have to break the clay down yourself, but there's nothing involved with a bit of work, is there? Right, we'll cover that up. Get the carpenter's mallet. Give that a good bash. And then we'll take some of the powder. We'll add a little bit of the seeds. A little bit of compost. More seeds. More compost, tiny little bit more clay, and a little bit more of each. Now it's very important when you're adding the water not to just tip a whole jug in, because you'll end up with this really irritating sludge that sticks to your fingers and you won't be able to work it and make your seed bombs properly. So put your water in really slowly. Just top that with a bit of clay there. And you'll find, depending on how wet your mix is, that you might have to add further bits of clay and compost while you're making it, but this isn't a problem. It's easily done. And a good thing to note about making seed bombs, particularly in the UK, is if you live in an area with quite low rainfall, I'd be tempted to say put less clay in, because that way the seed bomb will break up a lot quicker when the rain does come. And the way these actually work is they're sealed inside this hard shell of clay, and there's less likelihood of the bombs being attacked by rats, insects, etc., because it's encased in this hard shell of clay. And once it does start raining, you'll find that you'll get a shoot from the top of the seed bomb, and then the roots will go through the bottom and anchor themselves to the ground. And seed bombs are really good for areas of neglected ground where the soil's quite poor. And if you put the right seeds in, you could put nitrogen enhancing seeds in. It's actually a good way of bringing fertility back to the land that you've thrown the bombs on. Right, so Take a little bit of the mix, give it a good roll. You want it quite round and quite compacted. And voila! There you have a seed bomb. You can make these seed bombs of various different sizes. And if you leave that somewhere dark and airy for about 3 days, it will dry out. We tend to dry ours at the side of our wood burner because we're quite prolific seed bombers and they dry in a 24-hour period. Another tip is try not to keep them for ages and try and use them within a couple of weeks of use, because the combination of the dry clay could be detrimental and it could dry the germ out in the seed. So try and use them fairly quickly. So that one's ready to go. And that's a very basic way of how to make seed bombs. Of course, everybody's got different methods of doing it. They'll use different amounts of materials based on the climate of where they live. And following along the traditions of Blue Peter, here's some that we made a few days ago that we've made already, and as you can see, they're very hard and they're ready to go.